What's going on, guys? I'm Danny, and thank you for checking out my channel, Bluray Dan. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the movie Stronger, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Tatiana Maslany, and it is directed by David Gordon Green. Now, Stronger is based on the story of Jeff Bauman, who is a survivor of the Boston Marathon bombing. Jeff was there not as a runner, but he was there waiting at the finish line to support his ex-girlfriend. Now, as the story goes, the two of them were broken up because Jeff had a record and history of either being late all the time or just not showing up in general. But it just so happens that on this day, he did show up, and while he was waiting for his ex-girlfriend to pass the finish line, two bombs went off. Jeff tragically wound up losing both of his legs, and that's really where this story begins. And now from that point forward, Stronger is basically about how Jeff has to cope with the fact that he's lost both of his legs, and he has to overcome all of these hurdles, and he basically just has to relearn how to do everything. And now, even with all that said, Stronger is also a really touching love story at the same time. Now, I'm not going to go into any more detail on the story itself, just because this is a spoiler-free review, and I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to give the story away to those who want to see it. So now, from this point of the review on, I'm going to discuss, how I felt about the movie. Now, guys, I live in New York, and just like with 9/11, you never forget where you were when you hear these big events going on. I remember that I was on my very first day of vacation, and I was actually creating this movie room right here, and I remember hearing it on the news that there was a terrorist bombing in Boston. And now, of course, when these things are first going on and you're hearing about it, you never really know the severity of it until, time goes on and you hear these horror stories about what actually happened. And now, one thing that I found really important about this movie is that it didn't focus on the bombing story in general as like a whole, but it really focused and stayed true to Jeff Bauman's personal story. And now, even though this is such a tragic story and it's a painful story and it's one that really hit me and hurt me in the gut to watch, there's one thing that's so important to remember here, and that's the main message of the story, which is just to stay strong. This is such an inspirational and courageous story because you get to see somebody at their very lowest point in life and how they have to push forward and overcome it all. There were so many problems and roadblocks in Jeff's way, and he had to find ways to get over them and push through it and just to ultimately never give up. Now, I'd like to briefly talk about performances in this movie. Let's talk about Jake Gyllenhaal. Done. Need I say any more, honestly? Jake Gyllenhaal gives 100% to all of his roles, and that's exactly what he did with this one as well. You can see he put his heart and his soul into this film, and you really could see and feel Jeff Bauman's pain and struggles through him. And you know what? I actually saw them both on a talk show together, and you really do see that there is a true connection between the two of them. And Jake even spoke a little bit about how he got inspired and, what motions and ways he mimicked so that he could become the role and become Jeff. And, it was really, truly, interesting and inspiring as, an aspiring actor, to see something like that, to see how other people, are able to portray their characters and their roles. I can honestly feel comfortable saying that Jake Gyllenhaal he's definitely one of the best actors of our time right now. Now, Tatiana Maslany was also really fantastic in this role. She gave it just as much heart as Jake did, and it was really beautiful to see, the connection and the chemistry that both of them had on screen together. Now, another thing that I really liked about this movie was the fact that they showed how the community came together. Like, when everything went wrong, everybody stood together. Because it's the same thing here in New York, that, whether all of us are getting along now or nobody's getting along right now, if something happens that, threatens our way of life, we all come together. And I just love how they captured the essence of how, the community came together and how each person had each other's back, whether they knew each other or not. It's honestly such a beautiful thing, and, I'm really glad that they put that in there, and it's actually a really big part of the story. It's this specific, part of the movie that helped me understand what the real meaning of Boston Strong meant. So to sum it all up, guys, Stronger is a very heartbreaking story. It's tragic, very tragic. But with that being said, it's also very, beautiful, and it's incredibly inspiring and inspirational. On top of that, you get a fantastic cast with fantastic acting, and, the director and everybody involved did such a great job. I'm gonna go ahead and give Stronger an 8.5 out of 10-star rating, and I would definitely recommend it to everybody. But alright, guys, that's it for this review. I would love to know what you guys thought of the movie Stronger, if you have seen it, and if you haven't seen it, do you plan to? Also, I would absolutely love to know what your favorite Jake Gyllenhaal performance is. But alright, everybody, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you're new new here, hey, hi, hello, welcome to the channel. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. I have a lot more videos coming up and a lot more reviews coming up as well because, guys, this is now a big part of the channel. So, you know, stick around. If you guys want to follow me anywhere else, all my social media links and everything will be in the description box below, so feel free to do that. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're all doing awesome. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Remember, Boston strong, baby.